So there's one more element of this that I want to get into, and that is the religious element when we're talking about the Candace Owens departure from the Daily Wire. So as we know, Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro have been basically, not seeing eye to eye on things since the aftermath of October 7th, when Israel's bombardment of Gaza was very clearly genocidal in nature. It didn't take long for anybody with a brain to see that coming. So she tweets out in November of 2023. This is back when he said, I find her behavior to be disgraceful. They had a little dust up there. It didn't come to a firing yet, right. But she tweets that out around this time. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. No one can serve two masters. Either you will hate the one and love the other, or you will be devoted to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve both God and money. Follows that up with Christ is king. So this Christ is king thing did not sit well with people at the network either. Here's Andrew Clavin of the Daily Wire compares saying Christ is king to Satan using scripture and calls it anti-Semitic. Anti-Semitic, pardon me. So Andrew is apparently born a Jew, but was baptized and converted to Christianity. And here is Andrew Clavin.
Do you know how long ago?
I'm not sure. That I don't know. I don't know his life story all that well.
Like, did he convert to get the gig? Or?
He had to get the gig, right. Well, exactly. Here he is talking about how this Christ is king rhetoric is anti-Semitic. Russell and I were joking before the show. What a perfect premise for a sitcom, right? So you have this right-wing podcast network founded by Zionist Jews, but who cater mostly to the Christian right, having to now fire one of their only Christian commentators because she's anti-Israel, right? Like, what a pickle that is. This is a tough needle to thread here.
We are considering that as our first original play.
Yes, yes. A reenactment or a reimagining, I should say, of the Daily Wire staff
of the
meeting.
last day of Candace Owens' tenure at the Daily Wire.
Yes. Yes, the staff meeting where they decide she has to go. So here he is explaining why this Christ is king rhetoric is offensive to him as a converted Christian. So a Jew by race, but a Christian by choice, shall we say.
When I did this, by the way, the priest who baptized me said, Christians won't accept you. You'll still be a Jew. And I said, well, I am. That's my race. I'm a Jew. I'm proud of my race. It's a great race. It's done many, many great things, including write the Bible. And, I am a Jew. But that hasn't happened at all. Christians have welcomed me with open arms, except this Christ the King anti-Semitic crowd. Christ is the king, and one day every knee will bow and recognize it, because he's not just my king, he's king of the universe. But when you use that phrase to mean that God has abandoned his chosen people, the Jews, through whom he came into this world incarnate, and that he's broken his promises, his covenant with the Jews, you are quoting scripture like Satan does in the Bible. You are quoting scripture to your purposes, and that to me is specifically wicked. When you spit that phrase at Ben Shapiro,
when you spit that phrase, not when you speak that phrase, when you spit that phrase at Ben Shapiro, like I said, this is just a beautiful thing to see happen.
My friend, Ben Shapiro.
My friend.
And I understand this. All of you who love Ben, and I love Ben, and Jordan Peterson, you all want to see them find Jesus because you know what joy and freedom that gives you, and you certainly feel that it alters your relationship with God. But when I think about this, to be honest with you, and I know some people will disagree with this, but life is not a game show where you guess the name of God and you get to go to heaven. Honk, yes, the name is Jesus. I look at Ben's life and I think if Ben were to embrace Jesus Christ, it would cause devastation to his family, to the people who love him, to the people who listen to him, to his position in the world. I just have this feeling that God has put this guy where he wants him to do what he wants him to do. And as you know, I feel that, the Jews were not abandoned by God.
Very thin ice, my friend.
Wow,
Very, very thin ice.
That is quite a needle he is trying to thread there.
Yeah, you talk about being in a pickle. You talk about being in an uncomfortable spot. So you're these Jews who found a right-wing network that caters to, Christian, anti-woke, fundamentalist types. And now you're in this spot where you fire the Christian for being against Israel, and you have to say that you love Christians, but that you're a little offended by her Christian rhetoric is basically what she's saying. It's not that we don't like Christians. It's just, come on, the Christ is king. Come on, you're laying it on a little thick there. Laying it on a little thick there for us, You don't want to go there too much because you could probably survive as a network getting rid of Candace Owens. It'll hurt you, but you could survive it. You can't survive alienating the Christian right. That's game over.
That's your bread and butter.
Exactly.
Well, the formulation that he's making there, which as a Jew is particularly torturous for him, you can see, is God is basically manipulating the Jews, right? God is putting the Jews in Israel in order to fulfill the prophecy so that Jesus can return. And then, as I understand it, their belief is the Jews will have the opportunity to convert at that point, or go take a one-way trip down, right?
I mean, God has manipulated the Jews from the very beginning.
Sure.
God said to Abraham, "Kill me a son." Abe said, "God, you must be putting me on." God said, "No." Abe said, "What? Yeah." He fucks with. He's been fucking with us this whole time.
It can very easily be done.
Yeah. Exactly.
Down on Highway 61. So, there's that, and then trying to put Ben Shapiro personally into that basically tries to make the argument with Ben Shapiro that the Christian evangelicals make with Israel. Yes, the Jews have not accepted Christ, but it's a biblical prophecy thing. So fine. You need them to be Jewish so that Jesus can come back. Okay, well, God, for whatever reason, needs Ben to be Jewish for the mission that he is performing on this
God
earth.
needs Ben to be Jewish so he could found the Daily Wire.
So he could found the Daily Wire. Yeah, that's another one. All of these people are just ending up abjectly debasing themselves in public in order to justify their ideology. Now Matt Walsh, I have not. He might have, because I don't subscribe to the Daily Wire. I only see what he drops on YouTube from time to time. I haven't seen him say a fucking word about the whole subject. As far as I can tell, he has decided there's no puberty blockers involved.
Yeah, right.
So I'm going to stay in my lane.
Yeah, exactly.
Are trans Palestinian women using Israeli locker rooms? No.
Yeah,
not in my wheelhouse.
Yeah, I'll pass on this one. Yeah. No, it's that is quite the pickle that they found themselves in. It seems like that chapter is over, and they'll sustain whatever damage comes their way. And Candace Owens is on to greener pastures.
Please clap.